You are now tuned into This Korean Life with your hosts, Brian and Nate.
Enjoying this.
You coming from the tanning bed or the Thailand bed?
I'm on the beach in the morning, a little exercise, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting back.
That morning,
sprinting.
that morning sun's not good for tans though. Where's the tan coming from?
I tan.
Is it Nicorette 1+1 the tan?
Well, you know, it might be a side effect of all.
Did you say you're tanning?
I have to. No, I just work out in the morning every morning, so I think I just like, you know.
You're running on the beach?
Yeah, I do like sprints and
sweet.
Like pull-up sprints.
It's
bands.
sweet.
Man, it's nice, yeah. But man, I have to say a negative story about my nicotine. I had a Zyn.
Oh yeah, the fucking pouches.
My life, man. I was like, you know, I'm Mr. Nicotine. I got my lozenges on, and then this guy gives me a Zyn. Like I was like a couple drinks in.
Did you have a panic attack?
No, the Zyn, it was like it was 6 milligrams, and usually I take like 1 or 2.
You were saying like a half, like you might even split a 2 milligram pill in half. Yeah.
Yeah, and I put it in there, and like the first like 5 minutes was nice, and then I was just I was so like it was awful.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was awful.
What is like stone high?
No, I got dizzy. It was like, you know when you drink and smoke and you get like the spins? It was like that. And then like I went to the bathroom and I was like holding onto the wall like in the stall. Like,
but it would go away pretty quickly though.
No, my stomach was messed up after.
What happened to hell wellness Dan?
Yeah, don't tell that story.
I'm recording
what
already.
The hell's going on?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was awful. Like I was, live and learn.
they're strong, man.
What is it?
It's like a you know those like chew. It's like a
like
patch.
Swedish chew, like where they
Yeah,
just
kind of like that,
dude,
but it's
a
just
dry
like it's a dry patch. Yeah,
not a tea bag.
like a tea bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
that's snus.
Yeah, kind of like
That's
that.
what Norway, Sweden,
Oh, yeah.
Finland. They don't
So it's the
chew
same.
like cut tobacco like
Yeah, it must have been
we
that.
do.
Not the spit.
Dribble the all over the place and it's all cut up. No, they use it in bags and it's nice and clean and.
Yeah.
But it's getting more common back home. I saw lots of guys back home now.
Dude, I saw
man, you
Tucker
have to-
Carlson eating a.
He's like the number one guy for that thing. But man, I would never take one. I mean, if I took it again, I'd have to take like a little tiny like dab of it, not the whole thing.
Now I want to try it. I gotta try this.
I mean, I'm 60 kilograms.
But
you know?
my nephews were things, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's got to be worse than smoking. They're like, no, you just put it in.
It's a safe alternative to.
It's like an
smoking a
anti-puke dip. If you're not tough enough to have a dip, you put one of those in.
I guess so. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
have you ever dipped?
I did. Like,
If you put a pinch of Skull or Kodiak or something in there, most people probably puke. It just goes. You get the spins in a second.
I've done that.
Straight into
that
the
was
bloodstream.
the first and last time.
If you get the long cut tobacco leaves like a baseball big league chew
those guys.
The juice just flows.
Yeah.
But man,
it's a gross.
I
habit.
remember pinching dips and it takes a while to get used to. But my worst time, I had this thing was gone and it was like
because you use it so much.
Yeah, you could see my teeth down through the bottom down here. Through my chin. I mean, like there was no gum.
Through the gum. Yeah. That's
And I stopped and went to the dentist, and the dentist is like, "Do you know your sons chew tobacco?" And I was like,
Oh, dude, you can plug it in over here.
I think I saw them once, but
There's a plug over here, man.
Is it a problem?
No, but
Because Mom would find a spittoon under the sofa or something
mine
for
is
my
square.
brother.
mine is square.
Oh,
this thing's
You
right.
get the Canada style.
So you just need the.
No, but
you just need a plug.
I got another.
Okay.
You got an adapter?
I got another.
Oh, you can plug it in my computer.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that might be easy.
And,
You're just gonna steal all your photos.
Oh yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah, come in. I'm going to show you." It's like, dentist, come on, you're selling us out here, buddy.
Oh no.
And he goes, and that was it. That was enough to just cut it right off.
Yeah.
And it was getting expensive, and we were getting buddies bringing logs over from the States. But
Is it cheaper? Was it cheaper back then in the States? Or?
oh, it was like $10 a log. A log was $20-$30 at home.
Wow. Because I remember like.
So we had older buddies playing hockey, and then when I went to
How many
Detroit,
pucks is a log?
10, 12.
Oh, like 3 or 4 of them packs.
Like
A log like this of 1 tin, 2 tins, 3 tins, 4 tins, like 10 tins.
Yeah.
Be whatever, $15, and in Canada it'd be double and triple. And now you can get it a log for maybe $25 in the States, $30, and in Canada like $150. It's getting crazy. They have them on the base here.
Yeah,
one of the army bases has them.
Yeah,
because some of the hockey guys from Busan come and they're dipping. I'm like,
it's the best way
you
to
guys
pick
are
up shit.
fucking tipping. Like, it's not cool anymore. Come on, we're not 18 in high school, but they're from the base and they never stopped. They've been going the whole time. Texas and these guys, they're funny.
Yeah. The vapes are now the big thing. The vapes are like all
my niece vapes. I think it's horrible. It was promoted originally as like the safe alternative.
Right. You got it.
Yeah.
You're not worried about that thing.
No, I even my friend even sent the liquid from Vietnam. Because it's stronger, and in Korea like the strongest is like 20 nicotine.
Yeah, and here, and the one here is like
in Vietnam it's like from 30 to 50.
Oh wow!
Nice. So here's like
just a new version of the same thing.
Here's like 20. It's like no, we don't.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Amped up flute.
Soon you're gonna get in the Bangkok special there, and that's like a 70 to 100. Once you wear off the Vietnam one.
Yeah. What does it mess with your cardio at all when you play soccer? You think?
No,
not at all.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
It's like those Thai guys when they'll smoke a cigarette and then they like come in the ring and they just
kick
like,
someone's ass.
Yeah. Like there's I grew up with like the idea of like you don't smoke, you don't drink, you keep your everything clean.
Sure. Do you remember GSP's trainer when he did Ultimate Fighter?
Vaguely.
Yeah, he brought some like half drunk guy in from France, and the guy was a heavy boozer, heavy smoker.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, you don't got to do cardio." He goes, "You just got to kind of maintain your energy." He's like, "Don't burn all your energy. You got to be relaxed." And his whole thing. This guy was kicking everyone's ass. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to close that window there? How old are you now?
I'm 20. Today I'm
Yeah, his birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday! Here you go. We got this one for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a big.
I
haven't wrote happy birthday.
Is that a
on it for you.
hangover drink?
Show them the front.
I never got.
Look at the front.
No, the other side.
If you drink,
This one.
if you drink that, you'll be as big as Madong. So,
Oh yeah.
is it?
What is it exactly?
I don't know. It's a random box of juice. Mark juice.
Cass is up for all new substances.
Yeah, it's a wellness drink.
Yeah, my Korean friends, he told me that if you got hungover, drink this thing and you can like.
Yeah, this is gonna save.
I think you should drink 2 before you get on the bus home and just try not to your pants. Best birthday ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the other thing is after that we're not recording, right?
No, we're recording.
Oh, we're recording.
No.
I'm legitimately 22 today.
Officially 22.
Yeah, just 22.
I came to Korea at 22.
So after those
were
dips,
the
you ended
days.
up your pants or what?
Almost. It was like my body needed to like get it out of the system, so I was running.
The
to
brown
that.
stain was just tobacco on the other side.
That's right.
Huh. Now I'm curious about those things. But I guess if you get them in different levels of potency, then
Man, and I think the guy
you kind
was
of
one
get
of
like
those
the Daiso pretenders.
guy that sits at the bar and drinks and pops in all day, and I was just like, oh yeah, I like nicotine. He's like, try this.
I'll go from 1 to 6.
That's what it is, nicotine.
I think it's just pure nicotine.
You're on the most wanted
But I
list in
wonder if,
Busan
like-
next week.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's also the absorption, like if it's like going through like the under here has to be absorbed right into the bloodstream.
That's where it goes. That's why it goes straight into the blood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Versus,
you just
like,
melt it down
smoking.
on a spoon next time, man. Get that, get it right in you. Oh, good times. But the good thing, though, I think about a nicotine high, like you wouldn't get like the shakes. You've drank too much coffee at some point. No?
Yeah.
That is a terrible, terrible feeling. That
I
don't
got
like.
the shakes. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was that was the shakes.
Did it turn you off from like eating your regular
No,
nicotine
I
pills?
just pop one in my mouth right now.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say I thought you save them for like certain times a day, but
pretty
now
sharp.
it's just looks like they're just readily
No, like
accessible.
this I like. This one I like in the.
You got the faster dispenser.
in
there.
the like when I have an empty stomach. I have the toothpicks too.
Oh yeah, you brought those last time.
Yeah, but this I like. I ordered it on Amazon.
You can get
it's,
anything now. Eh?
Yeah. So
Sweet.
like I do that when I have an empty stomach, and then like if I'm like working with a full stomach, I'll have
Just
the
have a
gum.
smoke. Oh, gum.
No, I don't smoke. I never smoke. But the gum is good.
Yeah. Sweet. Every time I see you, I think like I'm gonna start doing that, and then I think, I don't know. It just seems like something else. It might just be like an extra element in my life I don't want to manage. Like when I smoked, it was always like, got my lighter, got my smokes, so I have enough smokes for tonight. I don't want that extra thing that I gotta think about. Like, do I got enough pills? It sounds like pills.
Lozenges. Yeah.
Start chewing toothpicks in my classes. Like Razor Ramon, I grow one curl down.
Yeah, Razor Ramon.
The coolest teacher around. What the are you doing?
Well, you got tissue or something to put it on?
No, you stick it under the table like a normal person. I've never seen that before. It's gonna drop in there and flavor your water.
Whatever.
Anyways, let's officially roll this in. Well, I think we're on number 119. There's
a guy a guy I'll recommend. You just have to catch him in the right, because he was the owner of HQ. He sold out, and he quit his job, and he was supposed to go back to Canada to start a restaurant or something, and whatever. But something fell through, and then he's like showing me his Instagram. The guy walked to Vietnam. Like he walked from
through North Korea
to Hanoi. He walked the entire.
Oh, I think I meant from here
Through Vietnam, not to.
Oh, I think
I don't think you gotta walk.
I was gonna walk to Vietnam, but I got stopped at the DMZ.
Yeah. But still, like that's a long ankle. Like you ever traveled to Vietnam? He walked, and he has like pictures every day, day 1, day 2, day 3.
Well, holy.
He's got it.
A lot of people do it by motorcycle, eh?
Right, but
motorcycle is fine, but walking is like horrible weather everywhere.
Who's the last?
Just hot.
Hey,
Yeah,
who's the
very hot.
I can imagine.
It's very hot.
The guy
with the book?
Oh, Adventure.
Africa.
Yeah, you read that book?
I didn't know we had him on. I didn't read it. He was on.
Oh, you mean Dennis?
Dennis
the
Dennis Feely.
Yeah, but no, I was just thinking of this. I read this book when I was in my 20s. This adventure capitalist, and this guy like drove around the world or motorbiked around the world, and he talked about, this was in the 90s, right when the wall fell, and he like talked about different countries, and it was a really interesting book.
Wild.
Yeah.
Dennis was awesome. We got some funny messages and stuff on there. Like, come on, this guy didn't really go on $1 for 9 days and blah blah blah. I didn't know that he's too old to be fact checking. So, but it's a funny story or fun story.
The only thing I question is if he really did punch a hole in the Iron Curtain. That was. He said he did.
We could do this for 6 hours.
Anyways, the man of the hour, Mr. Minh Công.
Công.
Yeah, Min, but how do you pronounce your last name?
Just Min is fine.
Just Min. But if in the future, if someone's like, do you know Min? And I know a couple Korean Mins. How would you pronounce your last name? Because it's got the accent, not an accent. That's the only one I know.
Kong Min.
Kong Min.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Sweet. Mr. Min, welcome, man. You are, happy birthday. 22.
Thank you so
You're
much.
a young man. You're, Danny said you're an international student at Danny's school, and you have received employment. You're the first international student at the Park Hyatt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, is this connected to your studies, or is this just a part-time?
Yeah, it's connected to my study regarding to service marketing, something like that. And I had to deal with foreign customers and Korean culture, all kind of stuff. So it's connected a lot, to be honest.
How long have you been in country?
I've been here for 1.5 years.
Yeah. How's your Korean language?
There are 6 levels, right? So mine is like 0.5.
Oh, okay. You can order a beer and,
of course.
and say hello to people. Very nice, very nice. What made you apply? That's a pretty high-ranking hotel, pretty prestigious hotel. The Park Hyatt. What is it?
Marine City one.
What's it? 5-star hotel, no?
Yeah, 5 star.
Okay.
That's nice.
You, what makes you apply there?
It's coincidence. Mr. Danny, he got like connections with the HR department.
Oh,
and then,
sweet.
And then my personality, and then this is like a great job, to be honest.
Yeah.
Great opportunity for my CVs and everything.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I worked in hotel industry in Niagara when everyone in Niagara basically works in some way for a hotel.
Yeah, I just want to see like how the world's going and how like the Koreans are doing.
Yeah.
In all kind of visit, and it's 5 stars, so why not, right?
Sure. What's your job exactly?
It's actually some kind of the back sides, like preparing and sometimes serving with the foreigners.
Oh, cool.
I just talk with them a lot. I also got the chance to talk with the HR, the management of the HR, and the director of operations.
Awesome.
He chats me a lot about like everything.
Cool.
So what kind of roles and responsibilities are you gonna have?
If I got like right now or like in the future.
Right now, I don't know where are you in your education career? Are you graduating soon or not?
Yeah, I'm already in June.
You're gonna graduate in June.
Like next month.
Yeah.
And then you're completely done?
Yeah, completely done.
That's a bachelor's degree?
Yeah, it's bachelor, yeah.
And then, so you'll go straight on. So what do you go on, an E7 maybe? D10?
D10 for a couple of months, and then I'll change back to D4 to study Korean. I have to go back because E7 requires Korean at least level 4. So I have to go back and study Korean.
Yeah, you gotta get the
And like they want me to work for them, so yeah, I'll change, and then they sponsor for my visa.
So without Korean, that's usually an automatic no for hiring. How did Mr. Danny's connections must run pretty thick
How
there?
many
but
zip packs did it take to get to to grease those
are you
palms?
changing garbage bags or what? What do they have you like? What did they tell you? What does the job entail in the beginning, and is there chance for progression and promotion, or?
Yeah, of course. Like because the thing is about this industry is that the Korean, they're leaving this industry, so they need someone who is reliable and deal with stress. I'm the one who can do that, and also relate to my personality. I'm like very friendly, always open.
I was gonna say, tell me a little more about the personality.
I'm kind of like I can very good in socializing. Let's say that, and I can hanging out with many types of people. So I'm very easy, a very easy guy to make friends with. So
I think it's awesome, man. When we came here, there was no chance of employment outside of schools. I like that it's. What's that?
Nori Bungs.
No. But there's but now it's opening.
Depending where you're from.
It's opening up quite a bit. And I'd love to see that the young kids are getting, or the potential employment is expanding.
You say the Koreans
beyond.
are leaving the industry, which I think involuntarily they're leaving every industry by means of no birth. Decreasing birth rate. So it's just a huge lack in the whole labor force.
Yeah, so.
But they're not leaving managerial jobs and the better jobs. They're leaving the dishwashing jobs and the maybe some concierge jobs or something maybe. But what would it look like, or what do you think it'll look like if you had like a promotional track or something there? You'll start washing dishes in the kitchen and then maybe move to concierge, or
It's not washing dishes. It's serving, and somehow it's like you are normal employees, right? So the Korean culture is that it's very stressful from upway from up to the top, up to down. It's always stressful.
Yeah.
So many people some of my coworkers, like last week, I came back to work, right? And there's all newcomers. I asked everyone like, hey, where's like the old, where's my old former coworkers? And it's like, no, they're leaving.
From what positions?
From there's a lady. He's like in the HR department she helped me with my my contract and all kind of stuff, and then she left.
See you later.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then maybe some other ladies and other guys, same serving and all kind of stuff. They're leaving they're leaving. And they said that one of the guy, he told me that he hate the boss because it's stressful, and because the work is like there's no rate, just work.
Yeah, that's a service industry.
service,
Yeah.
So you're in a restaurant, the hotel restaurant, or the
like
hotel bar
restaurant.
restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
But I
are-
mean, there must be some lulls. I mean, the old 3 to 5 o'clock must be pretty slow.
Yeah, something like that. There's like they don't have a time for cigarette as well.
that's why you got
They
the
just have the
vapes.
time for lunch and no time for cigarette.
Yeah.
But in Korea, like everyone's like, even I play soccer in Korea, like 25 minutes break time, a cigarette, and then keep playing.
Yeah.
And that's very unprofessional, to be honest.
I got a question for you. Something that you would get crucified at home, even working in a breakfast buffet restaurant. If I was standing around, if we had phones back then, if you weren't actively kind of doing something, the boss would kind of look over and give you that evil eye, like, there's a table to wipe, there's a carpet to clean or something. In your restaurant, are you allowed to take out your phone, check messages? Is that I've noticed it. I mean, I'm not eating in 5-star restaurants, at the kimbap place or the meat place. You see a lot of kids just hanging out, flicking around on their phone. But is that allowed, or is that just an accepted part of the restaurant culture these days?
I think you're not allowed to do that, but some of us go secretly. Sometimes you go. Yeah, sometimes you take the
in the dining room, or you go in the back and check it.
Yeah, go to the back.
Okay.
Just go to the back and check it.
Yeah, that's
secretly.
Listen. This is the generation. I'm sure there's guys who whip it out in the middle of the restaurant. There's no question. I mean, they can't not do it. It's what we talked about last time. It's just that they just can't not do it. I mean, for the most part, probably not. But I'm sure every day there's a few times somebody pulls out their phone in the middle of the
As
restaurant.
a manager, I would go bananas. Like, guys, listen, you got one rule: don't take your phones out in the dining room.
Didn't we talk about that a little bit? Like, now you have to kind of adapt to it because you're never going to have a worker that can't not pull their phone out.
Yeah.
It's not. They're born with them now. They're from 5, 6, 7, 8 years old.
Am I so old that I'm like, that's so unprofessional?
Well, it's like taking your hand off. You can't just leave your hand in the change room. It doesn't work. Yeah. It's part of them now.
Jeez, that's
so I wonder if it's like a different set of expectations for this generation, like that you just think it's normal, like taking out your phone and checking a message is part of any job. I don't know if they think it's weird or different. We do because we didn't have phones.
Yeah,
but
first phone, 25. I got my first phone.
when you're born and like you're raised with them. I mean, how?
Yeah, I would just.
You wouldn't think it's disallowed or not allowed.
But you got to consider the view of the customer who's not their generation. If they're looking around, I don't know what they think. I don't. I mean, if I needed something and someone was on the phone, I'd be pissed. But.
So I wonder if that's part of this thing of people quitting. Their expectations are so high that all these jobs are himdara and stressful to them. They expect to come in with the aircon and the high padded seat and the desk as their first job. Lots of these kids don't know what it's like to go busting through McDonald's and Pyeongchang's, and they haven't built up to appreciate what that job is, so they just quit.
Yeah.
Human resource sounds like a decent job. I don't know, but maybe they haven't, been through the trenches to appreciate that that's a good job, and it's easier to just pull the chute. But when we talk about toughness and mental toughness, I think that's a huge part of it. They haven't been through it.
Yeah.
And if buddy chirps you for being on your phone twice, you're an asshole. I quit.
That's the same thing at home where your kids or can't find workers. No one wants to.
Yeah,
no one
that's
wants
what
to work.
I'm hearing. Like,
yeah.
It's work ethic. It's work ethic.
Yeah, and that's why. Like, so when I was the guy who was the head of the Hyatt, he approached me at some event, and then he told me I want to hire international students because he told me the exact problem that all these Koreans it's high turnover.
Right.
So I was like, well, yeah. So I did a couple tours of the Hyatt with all the students, and most of them just wanted to take pictures of the Hyatt, upload them on Instagram.
Dude, is that they have the really famous brunch? Is that the Hyatt?
Yeah, they have my favorite brunch. Yeah.
It's like $75.
I
think all those places.
I think brunch is free for like the customer who stay in the hotel. But and then lunch and dinner. They have to pay for lunch and dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, famous. Many people like always go there. Like
there's one of those places down there. It's got like a really like
Paradise.
No, it's a different one.
Paradise is $70 for lunch, $100 for dinner.
Dude, you can go to a casino, lose $500, get a grilled cheese for free.
Yeah. So they, the guy approached me, and then I set up the tours, and students came, and then some students were interested, but I was really careful because I don't want to just send anyone, because it's my reputation.
Absolutely.
And then he is a very good athlete, and I have a positive association with sports and someone who can get the job done.
A little bias.
I'm a little biased towards that. What can I say? But like the truth is, and I think this is the theme of our talk today, is just like how sports makes the man. It makes your character. And a lot of times, like, people overlook people who are athletes because they're maybe not the best studiers because they're just sitting in the class, they're bored, they're not performing, let's say, on a test. But if I see someone performing on the soccer field, in the gym, on the mat, then I'm like, okay, this person can handle the pressure, and that's why I recommended him. And it was a stressful couple months. I mean, you did the interview, and
it wasn't a greasy road in. You had
no, it was quite stressful.
In which way?
Yeah, I mean,
for you?
For me, the interview, and you have wait for the exception from the immigration office and all kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Immigration stuff.
There's a lot of that.
It's kind of long process. Yeah.
They have to prove that a Korean can't do this job or whatever, like that.
And also from my university as well. I had to get permission from my university to work there.
All this like hoops you have to jump through.
But that should be the university should be no problem, right? I mean, you're graduating.
No, I mean, this is a 5-star hotel. So if I do it well.
It looks good on the university.
Yeah,
our graduates at the Park Hyatt.
But if I do it like in the bad way,
I
always make mistake. Then it affects the school reputation.
Yes, but regardless, if you graduate 3 months later and get the job, you still get the job and you still went to that school. So I think it's not in their favor to restrict students from getting jobs upon graduation. Listen, there's guys that get jobs at Hyundai that you have to pass for the last 3 semesters of the year.
As long as you pass
their career, they got a job at Hyundai already, so they just automatically graduate.
Oh wow, they do that in Korean students.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Not for me.
When they get some of these guys, lots of the guys around this area, Ulsan, college, university, UNIST, if they have jobs secured at Hyundai, they get passed through their final semester or final semester and a half.
Same for nurses.
I totally forgot about that. Like I remember getting I would be teaching the students, and then he gives me like a slip, and he got a job. It didn't even have to be Hyundai. It could be like Starbucks. It's like, okay, you working at Starbucks?
I'm not coming back. Right. Ooh. Early employment or something. It's called.
Yeah, they do that. With
so
Koreans.
If they're gonna grind your gears, I don't know, man, because they give free passes to the Koreans regularly.
Yeah. But it's tricky with the visa. Like even like I think my friend who's her boyfriend was like the head chef at the Hyatt, and they hired him, and they had all kinds of headaches, even though he's like he's the head chef of the Hyatt.
This is what I don't get with immigration. If you want these guys to work, why make it so hard? It should be getting easy. I mean, other parts are getting easier, but some of these things are obvious. And black and white, this should be easy to do. If you're a graduating student, you have a good job. Hey, we know there's a shortage. We know people are leaving the industry. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not so easy, obviously.
Yeah.
What was the interview like?
The interview?
Who was there? How long was it? What kind of questions?
I don't remember. It's so long. It was like they asked me like if I can speak Korean, but I said I can't. So let's do it in English. I said okay, let's do it in English. So they asked.
They wanted to do the interview in Korean.
Yeah, because they expect me to speak Korean.
But they didn't look at the resume or what?
Yeah, they saw the resume. I said no. I
what did you put on there?
I studied
level 5.
I studied like English level, like intermediate, from intermediate to advanced. But Korean, like no, I don't study Korean.
Yeah.
But they want me to speak Korean.
Yeah.
Because like
of course
working you have to speak with your colleagues.
So that must have been awkward.
Yeah, but then it went quite well because she speaks quite good English, and I speak English as well. It went very well. She asked me about like what did I expect from this hotel? How can I does the work well? How would I do this with the threat? How would I communicate without Korean to my college? and so many questions, and it went well, and until now I think it's very well. I get playing soccer with some of my college. And then we always cheering and having sending messages. We also got ourselves we also got Instagram from each other, and it's very well. I communicate very well.
How many people on the team that you're working with?
I don't know the exact number. I think about from.
Do you mean per shift?
From
however it works, I don't know.
From 7 to 10 people.
Working on one shift.
Yeah, hotels never close, so there's always someone working there, right?
Huh. What are the biggest challenges in your day-to-day working?
Koreans always.
Always speaking Korean?
Yeah, speaking Korean, that's it. I mean, they can, I can deal with threat because I play soccer. I know how to deal with threat. Threat is nothing to me, but
you're playing for the Vietnamese national team, or or you're playing beer league soccer on the beach in Busan?
Something in between that.
I would love to say it. I played beer league hockey. Stress is no problem, man.
It's always just about Korean and some kind of culture. Yeah, because in Vietnam the culture is a little bit different, and Korea it's different.
Sure.
So also it's always about culture and Koreans. Language and a language barrier. That's it.
Sure. Any huge mistakes? Working in a restaurant, dude. As a young kid, I remember dropping a tray of cups. I remember dropping food, busted garbage bags all over. And you're like, oh, just absolute nightmare scenarios. Did you have any big f ups?
No, not really. It's just sometimes the Korean customer, they ask me in Korean I can understand barely. I did broke some cups, so it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
What do you do when you can't speak Korean? If someone's talking, I imagine
pretend you're
a
deaf.
huge number of the guests there are Koreans speaking Korean.
Just nay and then ask other Koreans to speak to them. That's it.
Yeah, and probably when it's a foreigner, they ask you to speak to them, right?
But when they got they got complicated with some foreigners, and they ask me. And then if I got some problem with Korean, I ask the other Korean my colleagues in Korean. And
do you ever ask them if they speak English?
Korean customer?
Yeah.
No, never.
Okay. I was gonna say no one's ever asked, hey, do you speak German? Oh, nice try, buddy. Yeah. I just thought if you said
Hyatt is actually unique in that they actually have, I think it's 40% of the customers are international. Most of the hotels in Korea do not appeal to the internationals. The Hyatt actually markets to young people, and they market to young international people. So I think it's 40% of the customers are international.
Young internationals.
And the thing about what I see in this industry is that the HR, they told me that, right now I'm working in a restaurant, right? So the HR told me I can try in other department as well. And some of my colleagues, they change from this department to another department. So you can change if they need someone, and maybe you can ask for change. So if you once you are in the industry, if you work hard, it's pay off. So you can change.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
That's how I see in this industry. But some of I don't mean not everyone, but maybe some of the international, they are not they're not ambitious enough to see that.
You gotta break your balls, man. That's such. Looking at you as a 22-year-old, you have massive opportunity. That they've hired you without Korean language skills. Yeah. If you get your Korean language skills, you're going to be unstoppable in there.
Yeah, the head, the GM is a Russian guy at the Hyatt. It's not even a Korean. It's a, and then the guy who, not the GM, but the guy that you know well.
Yeah, he's from the director of a person. I think
he's a European guy, right?
Yeah, he's European. Some Netherlands or something.
Netherlands, yeah. So
dude,
they're hiring international people to these big roles, and then my friend whose boyfriend was the head chef, he's an Italian guy. So they have international people in very high positions.
Yeah.
In the
That's
Hyatt.
awesome. What's a tipping culture like over there? So is it same as Korea? Or do they have with a 5-star kind of marketing to international?
In the bill, it must be
tipping. Do people leave tips, or is it automatic gratuity on the bill?
Probably automatic gratuity.
No, I think no. I don't see that.
And there's no extra and no tips.
There's-
You don't come home with
I think they.
Those are once you get to 5-star, dude. It's automatically in there. It's VAT and gratuity incled or whatever.
No, if you like to
Gratuity is 10-15% automatically included in the bill.
No, the thing about it is if someone got your tips, right, you're gonna share it with everyone else.
Oh, it's pool. You got to pool the tips.
You're gonna buy from everyone else, like, because it's not only you, because other people also work very hard. But if someone gives you a tip, you're gonna hire it.
Yeah.
Just hire it.
Did you get a tip? Nope. Hey, dropping
So
manwans out of your pocket.
no one know anything. I never seen any like customers giving tips to to workers. There.
Let's get a little QR code on your phone. Be like, bro, you want to
But
tip
hold
me?
on,
Scan this.
from traveling, I've learned that's one of the things you got to watch for. If you go to a fancy place in Almaty or in Tashkent, not even that fancy for there, your gratuity's already included. And if you don't think that, you think, oh, I got to, like, the business guys would say, okay, I'll leave a tip or whatever. But they don't know that you're paying twice for it. They don't know it's already included. But I learned that the hard way in Ghana 20 years ago. Every time you're in a developing country, you watch, because that thing, if you're in any kind of like 3, 4, 5-star, they already got it on there.
Oh yeah.
And if you leave something else, they're just going, I got you, buddy.
Yeah.
No, because they want it and they know that's the culture of people coming there, so they just include it.
That sounds like a nice.
And it's not worth the headaches of, like you say, like, what do we do with this? Who it's not worth it.
It's not only developing countries. Niagara too. They would tack on anything downtown in the tourist area would have an automatic 3% added on for destination fee. Just invented some horseshit tax that dicked everyone
like
for
bed tax. They do that in tourism just because, like, the local area, like, think of a region and then like all of a sudden, like, Barcelona, all these people end up like traveling there and they just destroy the oceanfront plastic. So then the local people, they vote in these taxes because at least they can get some more money from the tourists. So I get it from that point.
Over tourism.
Tourism. Yeah, it's a really big problem. Like, especially now with Instagram, somebody like finds a nice beach. And then, like, they post it on Instagram, and the next thing you know, that beach is like
Leonardo DiCaprio smoking weed.
No, you don't need to. Now
his friends are getting eaten by sharks.
Now you just mid-journey your video in there, and you you traveled the whole world without leaving your bedroom. Now you're good.
That's true. That will save the tourism industry.
I wanted to say congrats and thank you, because I think that's kind of like breaking a glass ceiling. That getting hired without the Korean, because I deal with some international students around here, and now people will aspire to do that and work hard to do that. And when you say, like, people are leaving the industry, I think you accept the opportunity as a huge opportunity where the Korean maybe doesn't see that. But that's what they got to look for, is what is the track, the progression, the promotional track you can get out of this. It's not just serving in a restaurant, it's becoming the manager in 5 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a lot of opportunities that I think the average international kid just fails to realize.
We talked about that last time.
I'm a factory worker. I'm a dishwasher at a restaurant. I'm a whatever. But man, get your TOEIC going. Graduate with decent scores. Be frank and honest with your professors. And man, you can do lots of stuff here. It's opening up a lot.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, especially this side of the country. I mean, everyone's moving to Seoul. And someone sent me this high school teacher that I met. She sent me this data, and it was like 50% in almost every region. It was like 54, 49, 48 high school students from Korean high school students don't go to university.
Yeah, called that.
And then the ones that live in this side, like Busan, Ulsan, they moved to Seoul.
So I brought this up last time. He thought I was joking or full of shit when I was chatting on one of the sites or talking here. These guys are so red, so conservative, they're voting themselves blue.
Yeah.
Because this is the manufacturing hub of the country here, the heartbeat of the country, and they got no workers. It's easier and easier to get into universities in Seoul because there's no students.
Yeah.
So now more and more students can go there. Our level at the university has gone, in 4 years.
Really?
So, my God.
Same everywhere.
So now lots going to Seoul. Then you don't go, hey, Mom, I went to Seoul, but I'm going to come back and work in Ulsan. No, thank you. I'm in Seoul, man. And so you're taking, it's this brain drain to Seoul.
Yeah.
Or this youth drain to Seoul. Now who's left? My mother-in-law, and a bunch of her friends and nobody to work. So now you're going to have all these. Dano said, I don't know how close, realistic, true it is, from 30,000 to 60,000 by the end of 2025. If that's true, that's shocking.
Yeah.
That'll be every Penny Jom hotel everywhere, if they're not all automated by then.
Right. It's
So
really
so then
weird
you go from, we're so conservative to having the most foreign labor jobs in the country by a mile. And you know what? Then they're protesting, asking for workers' rights, human rights, this, that. And all of a sudden, the red has turned half blue.
Right, yeah. It's really
because they're forcing all the young people out.
Do you have a department that you plan on transferring into? Something that's piqued your interest? Do you want to go right into HR? Or do you want to go into
HR? Yeah.
HR's the.
I'm interested in HR. I'm interested in understanding about how the human personalities and all kind of stuff. And in my university I got A on the human resource management subject. Yeah,
good.
Yeah. So I'm really interested in that.
Do you think you could fire someone?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not easy. We had
Just watch the Donald Trump show.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Just make sure you're leaning back in your chair and you point right at him. But we had Mickey B. I remember this is probably 10 years ago. He was saying he had to fire someone, and he knew the guy, he knew the family, and it just he's like it has to be done.
Yeah.
It had to be done.
Take the emotion out of it.
But and he said it just you got to be robotic and just you're just the delivery man, but no, it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. Huh?
Do the people you work with have most of them graduated university, or are there, like you said, some of the kids not going to uni now? They graduate high school, they become a server.
I talked to someone, and those are several guys, and they said they all go to university. My team leaders, he has been working there for almost 2 years, and his major in university was hospitality and management.
Yep.
So he got to the team leader. There's one more girl. She just quit. And she also said she went to university in Gumi. I think mostly everyone goes to university.
So then, what is if you don't mind, what is a starting salary for a graduate kind of server or a junior entry level position at a place like that?
For 1 month or full time or 1 month. For me, it's just basic. Okay, I'm honest. For me, it's basic.
9,997, whatever.
Yeah, it's basic.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't care. It's just about opportunity and.
But that's it. Yeah. So the Koreans don't. I don't think they don't appreciate that opportunity. The Hyatt doesn't mean anything to them.
You're getting paid to learn, man. This is an internship, man.
And it means a lot more to you than it does to somebody else. So you go, you work hard at it, and you keep plugging away, and you keep climbing.
Yeah.
Someone else can't appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah.
So
I've always meant, as a young kid, I wish someone would have told me, or just generally, if you work hard in any industry, there's always the manager who's they're looking, when you see a young, I see it now with We Hope, if you see a young person who is really energetic or they're really interested, you want to give them opportunities. So when your manager is looking at you, working hard, and you're I want to get promoted, I don't think they feel threatened. They're like, "Oh, nice! This is an asset to our team. Let's get them on board."
University all the time. I had a girl today. I have another student, a little bit slower, and she's in his group. And I gave him some questions to do or whatever, and she was a little bit working fast, and she's good. And she said, "Do you want me to help you?" And I told her his English is not very good. And I said, "Hey, I really appreciate that. That was really kind of you, and that tells me that your parents did something right, because everybody in our class doesn't do that. And they kind of do the other way, where it's kind of like a bully thing, or this guy's useless. What are we supposed to do?" And it's tough, man. You must know. I mean, you gotta manage that. But she was so kind, and I was like, man, you don't see that very often. And I wish nothing but the best for her. If there's another opportunity, hey, I give her a chance, man. Because she showed that in class. So, yeah, you see it all the time. So, what kind of working hours and what kind of schedule, like you said about the breaks, there is a break, not a break, secret Jangja-dambe in the bathroom, or what kind of schedule are you on?
For me, I only work on weekends. For me, I only work on weekends. For those full times, they had to start at 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
until like 4 or 5. Sometimes if overtime it could be 6 in the evening.
Well, he's limited because of his Korean.
Yeah.
So he had a level 3. I think you could work 20 hours a week, but level whatever is 10 hours
like
a week.
10. No, but they got new laws for the because I came to
Students are 20 hours a week, aren't they, or 25?
Yeah, if you got like no, I mean I came to Korea by IELTS, like by English certification. So the new rule is
I came to Korea by IELTS.
it's
I got to Canada by German IELTS.
it's so ridiculous, but because I'm an exchange student, so I go.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, so I came to by IELTS. So I think they allow like people who can had IELTS to work 20, but in my hotel like they say no, you can speak Korean.
Right,
so like for me it's only 10 hours. For the full times like when it's crowded, they have to work from 7 in the morning, like an overtime until like 6 in the evening.
Work is rough.
So from 7 to 11 is the morning, and then 1 hour for lunch, and then continue from 12 to 6 with no break time. Literally no break time, no time for cigarette, no time for phone, no time for
that's
coffee, for coffee and all kind of stuff.
But it can't be busy the whole time.
Yeah, but they also have to find something to do, otherwise the boss will yelling at them.
Wow, the boss needs to
polishing silverware, rolling the silverware.
I was at the Grand Hyatt 2 weeks ago at the. By the way, there's a wine festival this weekend at the Park Hyatt, Saturday night, 6 p.m. New Zealand Wine Festival.
Nate's the biggest winer in Ulsan.
When? Saturday?
Saturday night, yeah. If you guys want tickets, if you can get a babysitter. I get the tickets cheaper, 150,000 won for and it's like lamb. I had like $100 worth of lamb on Saturday night in Seoul. But I was at the Hyatt in the Grand Hyatt in near Itaewon. And it was packed. I mean, like you need especially in the summer season, it is crazy. Like you need people on. You need a lot of extra workers.
Yeah. Sure. Really, and you can't have them screwing around. And hey, there's people here. Put your phone down. Oh, okay. You need to be on.
They cannot mess around. They need people that are reliable to work, especially in the summer.
What 6, 7 a.m. My students go to bed at 6 and 7 a.m. They just finished their last YouTube short at 6:15.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, I think we probably come from similar backgrounds in sports. It was hockey before school, and basketball was before school, and everything. Wrestling was before. Everything was before school started. My kids go to choir before school starts, but this age group and the sleep specialist. What's his name? From the UK.
Yeah.
He's not Australian?
No.
Matthew Walker.
Yeah. He says that this circadian rhythm for this age group is off by 2 or 3 hours, and that classes should start at 10. No exams should start before 10 because until you're 25 or something, that circadian rhythm is kind of bumped up. Go to bed at 2, wake up at 9. That's kind of normal.
Yeah.
And I would say that's the hardest thing at a hotel. Like if you have a night shift, that is awful for your It's like I think he said in the one podcast, it's like when you have not slept, it's like driving drunk when you go home. Because you're that messed up from the.
I worked straight midnights for the last year I was in Canada, and it's I had a good sleep schedule. I'd go home and
you were 22. Imagine you're like 42 doing that.
I look at the guy I work out with now. He's mid-50s, and he's on shift work still, and he does 4 midnights, 1 day off, 4 afternoons, 1 day off, 4 days, 1 day off. And it's just, I mean, he's really active and and he's always he takes full advantage of his time off and whatnot. But dude, switching all the time between
10 years or 15 years of your life. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So what about for you getting up? Easy, hard?
In my country?
You got to be there 6 a.m. at the hotel on Saturday.
No, I'm not. My shift start at 10 in the morning.
Okay.
So because at that time the customers and they start coming and then everything. So
I was gonna say if you're showing up at 6 a.m. on time, you can beat out 90% of people because most of them won't do it, and they'll be. My guys can't even show up at 9 a.m. I mean, half the class is late every day. Every day. They can't even show up at 9 a.m.
Do you have that too? Lots of late kids.
My class was at 9 and they're like begging me to start it at 10. So I did it because, half of them were like, and then once in a while I was like, I have to start it on time. They're checking the classroom. I have to like,
the college shifted it to 10 for the students and then they come late for 10.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
I was gonna say,
matter.
I get it. Like, I had students from
That
years
means
ago.
1 more hour of shorts that night.
Uzbekistan, and then in Uzbekistan, I guess the internet's so awful, so they come to Korea, and it's like the most amazing internet ever. So I get it. Like, I get why they're up all night. They're like,
What
wow,
about the Koreans though?
I don't have. Many
They just
Korean.
enjoy the internet anyways. They
Yeah,
know
I mean,
it's
they're
good and
just
they
used
love
to
it.
But it's for me, it's not recently, but a few years ago, it was the Uzbeks were always late, and I think it's just because they're in there. Because I travel an hour to get here, and they're like literally roll out of bed, walk up the hill, not even walk down the hill to the classroom, and they're late. I'm like, what were you guys doing? And I think they're just like on the internet, the Wi-Fi is so good in this country.
I don't know if it's a cultural thing that it's accepted that you can show up. Like all our Nepalese students, no one was.
I was training in martial arts in Philippines, and like I'm paying a lot of money for this training the Eskrima, and like the instructors are showing up late. And they just walk in when they walk in. I'm like, but that's the culture.
Wow. I didn't mind my scuba instructor in Philippines there. He's like, well, we're probably going to get tipsy tonight, so whenever you want to start tomorrow, just anytime around noon is fine. I was like, dude, big German guy in a Speedo, retired, and his part-time job was doing scuba training in the summer, whatever, a couple months. I was like,
Come on, man.
Come on.
Is it?
Island time,
Are we crazy in the West for wanting to be so punctual?
We're like, time is hunter. Time is like hunting you all the time. In the Western, it's like you're constantly like looking at your watch, and like it's totally affects your psychology. And I think like maybe it's healthier not to.
I know. I
be
think
such a slave to the clock.
we had a question about something in class today, and I just couldn't help but realize how many kids were talking about soccer. And I thought 10 years ago, even if you loved Park Ji-sung, you couldn't watch them because you had to download something on the internet to watch them.
Yeah.
These guys watch EPL games like 6 in a row till 5 in the morning. Every guy in the country.
Yeah.
So I was like, you guys all like sun, sunny. But, 10 years ago, like your parents' age or a couple of your young names, they loved Park Ji-sung. But you had to watch YouTube highlights.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't, instant live feeds of every game in the EPL to Asia. So it's wild, man. And the other question that came up was, could you live abroad? Could you live abroad, or would you like to live abroad? And 2 things. One, how many students said Japan blew my mind? Kind of reminds me of Quebec and Canada, where the parents kind of had the problem, grandparents, but now this generation's like, hey man, I love anime, I love okonomiyaki, I love this.
Yeah.
I love Japan, man, and it's close.
Dude, it's anime. You said anime yesterday too. It's anime.
There's anime, but anime cartoons?
Anime.
Anime.
Yeah. You said it yesterday too. I let it slide.
I say what the students say. I don't know anything about it. I just say what they tell me.
I used to call them memes, not memes. Someone very politely was like, "It's a meme." I was like, "No, the meme, like meme, like it's a meme."
So how many of these guys would go live in Japan, would have their grandmas rolling over in their graves? And the other one was, how many people said, I have no interest. I like 5G in Korea. They're like, come on, you don't just stay in Korea because it has good internet. But that was a continuing theme among my classes was 5G internet. Korea is very comfortable. The internet, and I was like, whoa.
It's true. I wouldn't stay here just because of the internet. There's a lot of other comfortable things.
But hold on, I think these guys are. It's like part of their brain function is how fast the internet.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think we can comprehend.
Even think about like when the Wi-Fi is not working so well, or like I was on my computer earlier and like the thing wasn't working, and I just like got stressed. Just like oh no, like I remember we grew up with like dial-up where
So I would say
art
maybe
downloading.
Maybe a good analogy is the art downloading line by line and going. And then you get 5G and you're like, whoa, this is a little nicer.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a serious thing.
But imagine like 8, 10 years old, whatever you want to watch, anytime you want, one click. Yeah, you would get anxiety if you went somewhere it didn't work like that.
You know what it's like? It's like you go to a hotel and there's no hot water.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like, How is there not hot water? It's like hot water.
Did we talk about hot water yesterday? Okay. About how we lived better than. We're living better now than any king.
I said that. The guy said
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody had a hot shower 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah, now it's like, you know,
Where's my hot water, baby?
Yeah. So it's like hot water. One thing I was going to ask you, Min, is about so the concept in human resources is called emotional labor, and that's the idea of having to like smile and deal with a customer even though the customer is rude, and you have to like absorb and endure like the
what's that called?
Emotional labor. Like
it's
a concept in academia, and it's a concept in human resources where certain jobs require a lot of emotional labor. Like maybe you're teaching children versus like teaching adults. Adults, I could just talk like I'm talking now, but you're teaching children, you have to be like,
hey Jimmy,
yeah. And then
have you ever been to a Yuchi one? That's not what it's like. How about every place you go in Korea? 안녕하십시오, and I'm like. You don't have to say that. If I walk in under the door 7 times, they're going to say, 안녕하십시오. 안녕하세요.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. I kind of like it because it's like when you go in Canada, you're like, nobody noticed me? You're all supposed to say in unison, hello, welcome.
Although I do like when I go to I do like it here because they don't bother you at a restaurant only when you press the ding dong button. But in the U.S., because they want the tips,
sure.
Like every 5 minutes, I'm with my
okay?
brother. I haven't seen
okay?
my brother in like 6 months, and he's like,
you want to refill the water?
Yeah, and I'm like,
you want
go away from me. I'll ding dong if I want to talk to you. You know?
I'll ding dong. But the ding dong's killing the Yogi-O.
Yeah.
Oh man, my sister's coming. I'm like. She asked, does everyone do Yogi-O?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's kind of going away because the ding-donger's killing it, man.
Yeah. But
it's pretty efficient, though.
So this is an interesting story, and I think about this as relates to the hotel industry. I asked Jessica, who's the head of the HR at the Hyatt. So I heard this story from this marketing guy, Sutherland, and he was talking about how they sell luxury bags. And they sell the luxury bags, and basically the way they sell it, I'm not sure if it's like worldwide or specifically in North America or whatever. And what they do is they hire these attractive young women to have the bags, sell the bags, and then these rich older women come into the shop, and then the young women are instructed to be rude to the older women. And then the older women, as a result, actually like buy the bag to flex, to show their
I was
power.
just going to say, wow.
Yeah. So then I wonder if
Brian would be good at that.
What's that? Be rude to old ladies?
So you have these like young, like 20-year-old women that are like women that are like rude, and then these old women are like, oh yeah, well, you might be pretty and young, but I have money and I'm gonna buy this bag. So they end up buying more things.
Well, give that guy Brian's number. He might be able to write one-liners for him.
I got bad customer service.
He can write one-liners for him.
So what happened was Oprah, like this is the guy was like, Oprah went to like one of those luxury stores and they were being rude to her, and then she thought that they were racist because like they're like these like young women are like just being rude to Oprah, and she's like thinking like it's a racism thing, but no, it's a sales technique. So then I wonder in the hotel industry, is it sort of like, okay, you have these these older women paying like $600 a night to stay in a hotel, and then because they're paying all this money, they have the right to like be rude to younger Korean women. Yeah, because it's like it's a culture of hierarchy. Yeah. I would imagine it's more so.
No, it sounds like you tell them you can't afford this room and they stay an extra night.
There you go. You got to flip the script.
Flip that shit there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You want some more wine, bitch? Hamburger.
Have you experienced any irate, rude, vulgar customers?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How long? Hold on. How long have you been there? A month? 2 months?
In Hyatt?
Yeah.
2 contracts, right?
So it's 2 contracts. It's like 6 months until now.
6 months. Okay.
So,
but just weekends. That's not that many shifts to have a lot of irate customers.
But there's. No, this one is not in Hyatt, but in Hyatt is but outside it's quite a lot. Yeah, outside of
Where?
What, different workplace you mean?
Previous jobs and other.
Yeah. Something
well, the gogi chib or the soju chib or something that's expected.
There's story about like because I used to have like a Korean guy. he needs someone who work in a, like transport, like in Korea it's been tech bag, right?
Yeah.
So it's like transportation, and they need a guy, to pick up the box and give it to the driver.
Okay.
As far as when they fall from the line, so pick up the box and give it to the driver. So once I did it once, and then I give the box to the driver, and the driver says, "Okay, you work very hard." He gave me like bakasu, and then he gave me like cookies.
Yeah.
And he's like, "My emo goal has been like, please eat a lot." And then I think I realized that the cookies is the date expired. So the date of the cookie is expired.
Yeah.
Do you think that was on purpose?
I think that's on purpose. Yes.
I give my kids expired food. Come on.
No, because I think that maybe like it's like a gift for all the drivers. Give all the drivers.
So you mean like they bought the expired contents from a place that was selling them cheap?
I mean, like, all the drivers got.
Yeah.
Like, all the drivers was given that by the manager or maybe someone else, but they didn't like it. They didn't eat it.
Oh, no,
So
they give
it's like
it
a
to
double
you.
gift.
So it's like a gift. So it's
A
gift for
re-gift.
them. So then they re-gift
Pass
it for
me down cookies.
They give it for me. And it's like please eat a lot. It's like
Re-gift it to your sister.
no.
You just keep it going, man. This is a game. We got a Christmas at Jeffy's. We got a game like this. Just keep re-gifting.
I'm not the type of guy.
Do the emotional labor script flip. Be like,
yeah.
Fuck these cookies. Oh, I'll get you a steak, sir.
So yeah, it was like one way of experience, and it was like awful.
So you said you're an exchange student.
Yeah.
So doesn't that mean you have to go back on the exchange to Vietnam?
To graduate, just for
no,
graduation.
I mean it's just like exchange for like 2 years in Vietnam and 2 years in Korea. After 2 years in Korea, I mean like my degree.
Okay, so hold on. That's a 2+2 bachelor's.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's not really exchange. It's 2 years at home, 2 years abroad.
But
Yeah.
if I say like 2 plus 2, no one understands. It's just
Okay.
like exchange.
Yeah, no. But exchange program, you can't just graduate and stay here. Because you don't graduate here, you got to go back to your own school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But this 2+2, okay.
2+2, yeah.
That's what lots of Korean universities are trying to do with the States.
Yeah.
Colleges trying to
yeah.
be like feeder system into the States. Come here, international students, come here for 2 years. And then if you graduate from here with a diploma, we'll send you on to the States for 2 years or Canada for 2 more years of a bachelor's.
Okay.
And Canada wants students, but they don't want to get direct from the country. So if they can prove that they're good enough to stay in Korea without making any problems for 2 years, then it's easier to get into a third country.
Huh.
So now you're going to graduate and you can stay here.
I can say
Yeah.
I can change the visa.
So the promotional track is the next goal: graduate and get to working full time,
yeah, of course, yeah.
and then full time. I mean, then it's changing jobs, right? You can change
Yeah,
departments
I mean,
or whatever.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can move to Malaysia and work in a hotel. You know, it's
So you got,
If you're in at the height,
international.
you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of that.
but that's what you got. Like I mean, you got to have the vision. These guys who just quit the job, or they I don't know what they want to go home and lay in their rooms and do their phone.
Yeah.
But man, if you get full time and then you're in at the Hyatt, yeah, you go to Hanoi, to the Hyatt in Hanoi, you'll be the manager.
right,
Yeah.
right.
The so many options. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that's my plan for the future. I mean, I really want to go back to Vietnam because the culture and everything in Korea is very strict. To be honest, everything in Korea is like CCTV everywhere and everything. But I like working in Vietnam. Like I don't know, have you guys ever been to Da Nang? I think you guys must have been to Da
I
Nang.
loved
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. It's like
Little Koreatown.
yeah, there's a Koreatown there. Yeah, as well. Yeah. So yeah, I want to go. I really want to go back, but experience and see how the world's going. Korea is just a start.
But that's going to be there always. You can always go back to that,
Yeah.
right?
And the longer you
It's
stay
always
here,
there.
Yeah,
the more
And then your life
emotion.
is kind of like rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, that's right.
So the longer you're away, that's probably why we're all still here, because we know that at home we know what we can go home to, and it's just not that intriguing. So I think the longer you stay away, the more you kind of accept that I can go do that anytime. Why go now?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do one more year. Whoa, that was a crazy year. One more. And go to Bali. Oh, go to Boracay. Oh, go to. Yeah, then you're laughing, man.
Yeah. I helped a couple years ago. We had same program, the 2x2 program. There was a girl from Vietnam. She had won this wellness award that you make a 2-minute video, and she ended up winning like $3,000 and trip to Boston, but it was during COVID, so she couldn't do that, and attending this conference. And then after she graduated, she moved back to Vietnam, and she got a job at one of the nicest hotels in Vietnam in the wellness, as like a wellness front desk spa. And she doesn't have to deal with as much. I think she doesn't have to deal with as much emotional labor because people are like going in there, getting a massage. They come out, they're like in a cloud nine. They're chilling.
Sure.
So, I personally, I would say look at the wellness angle because that's a hot trend as we talked about in the previous podcast. Because
it's only growing.
Every hotel has some wellness component at this point.
When I book hotels anywhere, gym is gonna be a part of it.
I'm like, if there's no gym, I'm not paying any money. I'm gonna go to one with the gym.
Sure, absolutely.
Or a sauna too. That's another one. After flying, I like to like sweat it out the toxin. And
Dude, the saunas at home aren't the same as the saunas here. You walk in here, dude, it'll melt your face off. The one in Quebec was I'm hanging over the rocks like, come on. People are walking in like, are you okay, sir? I'm like, man, it's not hot enough in here. I'm dumping water on that thing.
I was at the Ramada last weekend, and then I see the sauna sign, so I go down to the basement. Yeah. But it was like, I don't know what they had. It was not
questionable.
No, I walk and I see the guy, and I'm like, how much for the sauna? He's like, it's a massage and a sauna. It's $100. I'm like, no, thank you.
No, not the happy ending. Not the happy ending.
I will go to a Mogyotang down the street. Yeah. There's so many saunas.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
$10 you can.
I'm not paying $90 for a massage at the Ramada.
So, Min, is that an option of not returning to Vietnam and considering a third country or fourth country of where you would transfer to, or?
Yeah. I think that's my plan. Yeah.
Where do you think you'd be interested in going?
For me, it's the UK.
UK.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, I love UK. Yeah.
Football.
That's why.
Yeah, sort of. But I let's say I love UK. Because when I was young, football is kind of a fact. But I love British accent, to be honest. I love listening to British accent. It's very nice. It's very attractive to me. And also, I think it's London. It's like a big city. And I can make more money there, and if I'm in London, like I can travel like around Europe basically easily.
Right.
So, by the way, I learned this the other day that because of Brexit, all the universities in the UK are starving.
I was going to say
have
it must
a
be
huge problem.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's so easy to enter the universities now in the UK. So that might be something interesting.
I forgot about Brexit.
Angle for you to do a master's in the UK in a couple of years because it's easier than ever to get in.
Interesting.
Would you consider a master's?
Yeah. I mean, if I didn't have if I had a full-time job, I just work. And if I unemployed, maybe
So
I just wonder these days who needs a master's. There's so much available online, so many micro degrees, so many courses, so many.
Yeah, in Korea, there's a lot.
I think if you stay in Asia, you want a degree up. But if you're
half the people in Korea have a master's and don't even work.
Yeah, but it's still like that older culture of it just opens more opportunities. It's a paper society in the sense that they don't take you seriously or they don't take you as serious.
In academia maybe, but
it's also a society where now you can start a business, Donna's Donuts, and crush and kick ass and have 4 franchises or 3 franchises, and you can shove the paper up your ass. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a paper now. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So now what? Now the PhD is going to become the new high school diploma? Like, it's outrageous here.
Academic
Everybody
inflation.
has a master's.
But even people that there was people in my PhD program and they were like hoteliers, like GMs of hotel, and they got their PhD to have it on the business card. Yeah. That's how they think about it. They didn't think they're not going to research. They're not going to teach. They just want to have the PhD on their business card because then they can get government contracts. So it's like a lot of government money.
Go work in Canada or the States. You'll be a CEO, man. Like, you don't need all this stuff. You don't need all these years. I had a guy in the English clinic or whatever today. He said he wanted to be a doctor, didn't get in, did the Sunum 2 more times.
Whoa.
And I was like, failed twice. His parents told him do it 1 more time. And he said, I went into engineering. I said, do you like engineering? Do you love it? He's like, well, I failed to do the medicine, so I'm going to be an engineer. And I was like, but you could have went to Canada and been a doctor already. Like, man.
Yeah, well, all that effort, all that.
And you know how good they are. Like, you're talking the difference between like 99 or 99.5% on the Sunum. That's it.
Yeah.
And this medical strike that's on, they canceled all the classes at the university.
that's right.
Now a lot of these guys lose their scholarships.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
And they're going to have to go back and retake the course. If they get an F on the course, which the universities have to grapple with, do we give them Fs or not? The big guys are striking. They don't care about the freshman guys in our classes. And they summon these guys to come and strike. So, but these guys got to go, well, like I can't even complete my first semester now in my first year. Like, and it's going to rewind all these guys. So now they're going to have to come up with courses for the summer session, and they're going to have to, do it on videos to speed it up.
They're going to have like a double cohort.
They must, yeah.
But the scholarship thing,
that's what they're trying to avoid right now, aren't they? They don't want such a big influx of kids next time. But would there be a year where no one can get in? I don't know. No,
That's
good luck.
Good question.
Good.
anyways, it's
I was up in the Sangdo, that new area, and it has like
Songdo.
like Incheon Sangdo,
Yeah.
and then I had several meetings with some professors. There's George Mason University there, University of Utah, SUNY is there, FIT is there, and Yonsei is there, and they're actually like marketing, the universities, most of them are trying to get international students.
Right.
These universities, they're trying to get Koreans, and they're really pushing hard for Koreans. And then what it is it's like a program where they do 3 years in Songdo, and then they go to the U.S. for 1 year.
Sure, it's smart.
And
Smart.
and then George Mason, they're in like D.C. pretty much. They're right outside of D.C. So they have like an 88% job rate for the international students that go there, and they get hired right after they work in the they study in the U.S. So it's an interesting different angle to things, because it's cheaper than sending Junho to like the U.S. for 4 years, and then he comes back with like drinking in coke habit or something, So
just doing zins all day.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's like a big chessboard of everyone trying to still have their cake and eat it too, and
That's it.
And everyone's kind of jostling for position, and how can we keep our unis filled with decent enough kids to keep the reputation and everyone employed, and somebody's getting crushed. I mean, they're not immune to it here. There's a lot of places closing here, but somebody else is getting hit harder than here. They have whoever it is. I don't know who, but.
Well, universities are merging, and there's this local program where universities have to basically collaborate and create like a program where they make some new major together, and it's almost like the government's forcing
The college just announced a new program for factory workers. For factory workers to have TOPIK 3, they can pay $3,000 and get a bachelor's degree in 2 years or something at the college.
Yeah, they're getting creative with their.
So it just lessens. It lessens the power, like we were talking about yesterday, or whatever. It just lessens the value of the degree.
Yeah.
Like, you get these international kids now, and you don't want to give them Fs because you get in trouble from immigration or the Board of Ed. You don't want to fail them. You don't want them to run away. So everybody just gets passed with a D to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
All the factories are still operating. All the banchans are on the table. The Hyundai cars are rolling off the plant. All your aunt, uncle, cousins, and professors and guys who own the property around the university are all happy still.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Figuring it out.
University needs to be redefined into its purpose.
I get a message from this guy from Nepal. He added me on Facebook, and then he's like asking me. He's like, blah 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 blah. Like, international students from Nepal. And he's like trying to get me to, and I'm trying to figure out what, I'm like, well, how much money do you make from one end and the other? Like, you make some money from the university pays you, and he's like, he makes this much, and then he makes this much, and then it's like, I'm like on my way here, and he's messaging me, do you talk to the university? I'm like, no, man, like, this is not my priority. Like, yeah, I'll talk to someone. I don't know who to talk to, but like, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I get it. You're trying to make your money, and everyone's just hustling.
Yeah. There's big money, but the people who suffer are the students.
Yeah.
Because they get here, they realize, why did I pay that guy so much? I didn't have to pay him to come here.
Yeah.
I could have come on my own and saved $6,000. Yeah. And then it's, these guys don't actually care about my. I remember 4 or 5 years ago at the college, the first group that went into global business, and Jeff and I stood there and asked him, why did you come to Busan College? And 15 out of 15 said, this is one of the best schools in the country. And we were like, what? Your country doesn't have Google? What search engine are you using?
Yeah.
But I think it used to come up on, they had the highest hiring rate. civil engineering, naval engineering.
Yeah.
For Korean students graduating from Ulsan College, it used to be like automatic to the shipyard, the car factory.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it came up, but they didn't go past the first link on Google to find out that global business is a new program and whatever. But they all stood up proudly and said, "I'm so proud to go to one of the best schools in Korea." And then after 4 years, they're like, "What?" I said, "Do you guys remember this?" They're like, "Yeah." Well, you grew a lot since then, so.
Wild.
Anyways,
what? How do you feel as a Man U fan getting pounded by Crystal Palace last Tuesday 4-0? Was that? Did you cry a little bit watching that?
No, it's very normal. I mean, I suffer a lot from that, so it's very normal.
Well, when you were young, Man U would have been at the top of the heap there, right? They would have been the best.
Yeah,
they would have been top in the Premier League, right?
When I was like 5 years old, they were like the top.
Who would have been? Would that have been Park Ji-sung? Would he have been on the team then?
Yeah.
Park Ji-sung, Rooney.
For example, Ronaldo. 2000 and the Moscow 2008. Yeah, the Moscow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. And you're still diehard fan until now?
Yeah. I always remember about that day.
Don't worry, my hockey team is absolutely terrible. Not only do they lose, they make you think like we're gonna do it this year. Yeah, we're gonna win, and they'll fight right into the end. Like it always happens, and it's Nate's goddamn team that beats us every year.
Yeah.
We go like we're down 3-1 in the series. We tie it 3-3. We're in overtime on Game 7, and we blow it again. It's insane. It's insane. But maybe you have some of those shared feelings now with Man U. They've dropped significantly. Arsenal's really killing it.
Yeah. Last night.
They've.
I watched them last night.
Yeah. What? Who's your favorite player?
For me, it's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo. Yeah. Yeah, because when everyone talk about Messi is like gift talents, but Ronaldo is hardworking every day.
Yeah, I do. I mean, whatever pops up on social media or whatever, but he does seem very dedicated, not only in the game, but outside of the game. Like, I remember someone put a Coca-Cola bottle in front of him. He's like, get that shit out of here. I want to drink water.
How old is he now?
He's 39.
39.
39,
Yeah, like think at that age, man, you can get away with Coca-Cola when you're 24 or something, but when you get to like 40, it's like
sure, he's a well-oiled machine, man.
but it's a different era, right?
It's also
Gretzky used to drink Cokes. Alex Ovechkin in the Capitals still drinks Dr. Peppers, or what's his?
Yeah, something like that.
A&W root beer or Dr. Pepper on the bench.
He probably grew up eating non-GMO food. That's why.
Definitely.
But I would say, like, in terms of sports, I feel like the sports is wellness for men, hands down. It's just guys really get a lot out of sports, and I think all of us in here can agree to that. Like, just all the things, all of my success, all of my wins, besides winning in sports, is from the mentality that I learned from sports, because there's nothing harder than a hard practice.
Yeah.
When you hit the real world, you have extra work to do. You have to stay another hour. No problem. I could do overtime in a soccer match. I could do another round of boxing, whatever it is, and you just have this mindset.
See, I didn't start connecting things like that, but looking at past hardships or physical hardships and connect that to non-physical things. But I started doing that in the past few years. Like, I did this or I did that, and you're like, well, it's so much easier than what I did in the past. Using whatever we talked earlier about training in Philippines, or I was in Thailand. Like, looking back at that, you're like, well, I have to work 4 hours today. Like, well, it's not that bad.
Someone's not trying to kick me in the head. Yeah.
My 6 hours of training, or whatever, 6 hours of class. Like, it's not going to end with 500 kicks and some dude punching you in the stomach every time you do it. Like, it's not.
Listen, last night we had our inter-squad game at hockey, monthly inter-squad game, and the kids have just started the last 3 months learning about offsides. And she's in grade 3, maybe, one of the better players, and she was offside, and I blew it down, and we're having a face-off. and she went off bawling. And I was like, oh, Chaewon, just wait. So Buddy drops the puck for the next group of guys, and I went off, and I wanted to chat with her, and she was just distraught. And I was like, no, there's guys making $10 million a year that go offside. It's not a penalty. There's no fine or...
Yeah.
But this is the learning thing. Like, 2 weeks, maybe just last night, she realized finally that it's not... But then 5 minutes later, her line was out again, and I blew it for another offside, and she looked at me, and she was like... And I said, Danny, you're offside. She goes, there's no penalty, or it's not a nothing. It's just a face-off. But just that small thing of learning is going to change the way she thinks, man.
Yeah, now she's going to be able to regulate herself better in a real stressful
And
situation.
making a mistake is okay. Like, you just couldn't get out in time to fix the offside, or you went in a little bit too early.
Yeah.
It's okay, but you learn that, and I find it through coaching there, the parents they can stand at the glass, but they can't go out and help them.
Right.
And they always, they're some of the Timbit guys, the little guys, and they just go, wham! And they're laying on the ice. I'm like, let's go, Jiwon, get up. Yeah. Nobody's coming to get you. Let's go. And I'm sure his mom's going, oh, my boy, we can't go and get him.
So coddled, man.
He's fine. Let's go. Come on, Johnny. And they get up, and I think the mom's like, wow. What does he tell them? Like, how do they just get up like that? Because he's ready to cry all day. So I agree 100%.
Man, it's
everything I can.
Sports is like this self-development. It as an individual, it's like it's an amazing thing. I teach a soccer class in the university, and I have it's 11 girls and 13 guys, and so the guys, they play and they battle, and I just let them learn as they play.
Theory,
and the girls,
or application?
No, just we play on the but with the girls, they're beginners. I mean, they some of them never kicked the soccer ball, and with them, I try to tell them, I'm like, look, okay, your grade is maybe these guys that maybe you do better in the classroom. Like you get an A+, and you do what the teacher wants, and you memorize what they want you to memorize, all that.
Terrible stereotypes.
But no, they do that, and they get higher scores. Usually the girls are getting a higher score than the guys in general in his program and in general. Yeah. And then the guys, but then because of sports, when they get in the business world, because of the sports, of the strategies, the tactics, the dealing with the emotional regulation from dealing with losing, dealing with making a mistake and having to recover from that, and taking risks, the guys are oftentimes better because of the experience of sports.
Yeah.
And they have an advantage. And it's just because of the mentality of get up, get off the ice, and get back on your feet. No crying in soccer.
Just don't watch LeBron.
Right.
No exactly. Crying in soccer. That's probably one of the biggest crybabies.
Hold on. Did you see MLS? Is that what it's called? MLS? Major League?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
The new rule?
No diving?
If you lay down on the field, you got to go off for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't come back on for 2 minutes.
Yes.
I've been begging for that for years. If you're going to fake it, you got to stay 2 minutes off. And if they score while you're there, your buddy's going to be pissed.
Yeah,
you better think twice before you lay down.
Like penalty box or
someone else
diving bullshit. Some guy just fake injury.
No. I mean he's off, and their team will be penalized for 2 minutes.
No,
or someone
that guy can't come back on. They just.
No, if you fall, you got to get off.
If you're injury, right? So the doctor have to go to the field, right?
Yeah.
But then you got like additional time, like more time.
Because now it's like 15 minutes additional time.
But now like 15 minutes. So
it's getting outrageous.
So if you fake that and then you can stay on the field, and then you go out like 2 minutes later, you come.
But someone will replace you.
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's
you
like
can't come back until it's been 2 minutes. So you play a man down for 2 minutes.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
And the other one is you only have 20 seconds to substitute or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because the guys over there and he walks like this fast to change. It's like extra 3 minutes of time. If you're in the last minutes of the game, so they said 30 seconds. Run that. You just ran for 45, 55, 65 minutes. Run the hell off the field and let's go. So I like that they're implementing this. I think you'll see it in EPL and the other ones too.
Yeah.
I want to ask you.
Pitch clock.
What are sports like growing up in Vietnam? Boys, girls, is there lots of leagues? What is it like?
Yeah, in my country now, like there's a lot of league for university students. Like before that, we don't have any league, but now we have so many like championships or so many tournaments, even the league.
But what about young? When you're young, elementary school, 8, 9, 10 years old. Does everybody play sports?
Yeah, of course we play sport. We play. We just friends I bring around. But right now they got like the tournament among like schools, like facing.
Sounds sweet. On par with Korea.
Yeah, and then some scouting department from like professional club.
Yeah,
They're gonna be there. That's great.
And watch like okay, this guy talent. I'll pick him up to team. Like,
is it mostly soccer or is there also baseball? Something else?
Yeah, also some other sport. Like especially like in Vietnam now, it's basketball. It's like
basketball.
Yeah, basketball is going very up. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like in the gymnasium, like always full of crowd when there's the basketball league. So like it's developing very, very much.
Easy to play, right? You just need a hoop and a basket, and you can play.
You were telling me in the taxi that when you were in elementary school, he played. You grew up outside the city.
I grew up without the real soccer ball, to be honest. So when I was like, I remember when I was like, because I grew up in the countryside. This around so surrounding my house at that time was all paddy fields and all kind of stuff. So we don't have the real soccer ball. It was too expensive at that time.
So what did you play with?
The melon or something.
Palmetto, like a grapefruit. The grapefruit.
The grapefruit.
Yeah.
Like,
play with that.
melon, like,
Because when I was in West Africa, they would ball up socks, like holy socks that are
we
garbage. They would tape up. They would tape up garbage.
So it's like we all like if we don't have enough money, we just try to get everyone like books and like papers and
That was humbling. When I saw that, I thought, wow, we complain about so much. Every kid here is happy. There's glass, there's rocks, there's shit all over the ground, barefoot, playing with a ball of garbage. Happy as pigs and shit.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I thought, okay, we got to start appreciating more. This is crazy.
Yeah,
this is living. Like make something out of nothing. These guys are loving.
Yeah, I was playing with my barefoot all the time, and then when I was a little bit like older, we like our mom give us money for breakfast, right? Just we like to play like more like 5,000 won, but we only buy breakfast like 3,000 won, and then 2,000 we save money, like together we buy a plastic ball.
Save some,
a plastic ball.
Get
and then when we play together, it was very fun. And in Vietnam, there's in Korea it's very modern, but in Vietnam, like back then, there was not many field for the kids to play. We play on the street, like we play everywhere we can.
Right.
Just no people, like no cars, no motorbike around. We just.
I found when I was in West Africa, the organization I was working with, we had a budget that was our community and child development through sport.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we worked with women and children, and we had a budget for this stuff, and we built volleyball courts and we built a basketball court. The problem was, they weren't sustainable because you always needed a new ball. But soccer was just a ball of garbage. They could do it all the time anyway, if we were there or not there. But what we found is once the ball breaks, pops, gets a hole, then they're like, oh, you got to fix this for us. You got to fix this. But if you just let them do it, you don't got to fix anything. They manage it.
Yeah.
But when you introduce the nice shiny ball, now they want it to be nice and hard and shiny all the time.
Yeah.
And then when it breaks, they come back and say, "Hey, Mr. Canada, Mr. White guy, Mr. You brought this stuff. You know how to fix this and stuff. Fix it up for us."
Yeah.
And it kind of creates dependence. Where I found like if you just leave them, they'll figure it out. They got all their games and they can entertain themselves. They don't need brand new balls for everything.
Yeah.
I can imagine like when we brought 5, 6 new socks, their eyes were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But a month later when they're all flat, we're like, do we just go buy more? Because like they use it 10 hours a day. I mean, of course it's going to be flat. There's rocks and razors and stuff poking up. Like, I mean, what? So yeah, it kind of creates a bit of dependence, maybe. But
it's a beautiful thing. Like you think about happiness and make people happy. It's like all you got to do is give a bunch of you got like 10 guys. Get them a ball. You don't need to go to the mall and buy a bunch of shit that they don't need.
Yeah.
They just give them a ball, some kind of ball, a basketball, a soccer ball, a softball, whatever. And it makes guys are simple. We're very simple. Just give me a ball and play a game. Make a game out of it. That's it.
Sure. What do you find playing? Do you play with a lot of Koreans?
Right now? Yeah, a lot.
What do you think about the Koreans in regards to like the equipment? Because I played pretty high level hockey.
Yeah.
And everywhere you go in Korea, they have like the best the best golf clubs, the best everything, but the level isn't necessarily matching their level of equipment.
That's right. Yeah.
What is that like compared to Vietnam? I mean, do you have some of that coming into Vietnam now? Because the Koreans wear professional golf gear to play screen golf.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the most absurd thing I can imagine. You wear golf stuff to the golf course, not to screen golf.
Yeah.
You don't need professional golf shoes for screen golf.
Yeah.
What is it? What have you noticed with the soccer guys? Is it similar? They have the best shoes, and you have just like whatever you can afford.
No, we in Vietnam it doesn't matter though. Like in Korea, like everyone wear like high socks, shin pad, everything.
Yeah.
In Vietnam,
Like you said,
Vietnam, like no, we just wear like just a soccer shoes and then just a little like over the ankle socks,
Cardboard box or whatever.
Yeah, we don't. It doesn't matter about like our equipment.
It's an identity thing. They have to have some like extra like purpose of meaning in their life. Like I'm this. I'm a soccer. My hobby is soccer. My hobby is.
Sometimes they just don't buy like the real brand like branding like Nike, Adidas. Like they don't buy that. They just buy like some shoes from China, like very cheap one. They just go there and play. It doesn't matter. Some people even play with their barefoot because they like it.
Yeah.
Because they can give them like the real ball feelings.
Sure.
Shoe is like.
But what about the Koreans you play with?
Everyone is like always had like at least 2 shoes.
I love it.
Like
it's
one,
the ten-
the thing is
Adidas
because in Korea like they one is called futsal and one is called like the real soccer. So one like with no stud and one had stud. So always like 2 like they always bring like 2 shoes like on the
like
field.
Every kid in Canada plays baseball in the summer, little league, whatever. America's the same.
Yeah.
Soccer, but nobody has professional bags.
Yeah.
And Japan's another level up from here. Like when you,
Is that right?
But they're good. Like when you see the little league baseball guys, they win the World Series or they're in the Taiwan.
those
They're
kids
always up there.
Yeah.
And they carry around those bags on the train. And you're like, ooh, they're probably good. They're traveling baseball team, like a rep team.
Yeah.
But here, like Mr. Inspector O, like his baseball team, they got like $600 bags and they got their own personal bats. And I'm like, this is beer league baseball, man. Come on. And when I went to play tennis years and years ago, I still play at the university once in a while, but tennis. And I'd show up there like this with a t-shirt on and running shoes and just smash balls.
Yeah.
And then you have grandma over here and she comes with a bag of Head or Slazenger, 3 rackets. And I was like,
Yeah.
I might break a string anytime I hit the ball, but you're never going to break a string. I don't think you need 3 rackets.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. Like they convinced a 55, 60-year-old lady that she needs 3 rackets and a pro bag to walk into the like budget tennis court.
Yeah, it must be some weird like status thing where they look at each other and like if you're not like you don't have that Adidas bag and you're like this person not a real soccer player.
So it's funny at hockey. My gloves have holes in them.
Yeah.
My pants have holes in them. My socks have holes in them.
Yeah.
But I'm still one of the best guys by a long shot.
Yeah.
So I tell the guys that come in like, hey, Nate, I need new stick. I need new skates. And you're like, look, hold on, look at mine.
Yeah.
You're not even close to me. You're okay with this used stuff for 3 more months. But no, I'm ready to spend $1,000 tomorrow. $1,500.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, well, we better wrap her up there.
Yeah.
Min, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. Again, thanks for breaking down some of those barriers. I hope you can be a shining light for future international students because
thank you so much.
If you make it and you stick it out there 6-8 months or whatever and build that reputation, you're holding the torch for all your country mates and the whole region of Southeast Asian students here. And if you do well at that, I mean, you're paving the road for them. Just like others have paved the road for you in other aspects of life here. Yeah. So, congratulations on the job, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me today. It's a great birthday gift for me, and I was also saying to Mr. Danny for connections. Yeah,
excellent.
It's an honor to be here.
Great. Happy birthday. Have a good one.
All right, let's go eat some steaks.
Steaks, where are you going?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.